Now the next question says we must draw the OGIVE, or draw the cumulative frequency curve. And when you are going to do that, you don't just draw the curve. They will give you a graph paper, and then they will attach the graph paper to the answer booklet. So you go there and draw the OGIVE. But then before you draw the OGIVE, you need to have a table. They gave you frequency, so you will have your frequency, okay, given, they will give you, and then you need to find what we call the cumulative. To cumulate means to add, cumulative frequency. Okay, they have given you frequency, so you need to fill this table quickly in order for you to draw the OGIVE. Okay, so our first frequency number was 12, and it is the same as the first cumulative frequency number. So whatever number that is in the first column for frequency appears in the cumulative frequency. Now the second number was 29. So now I'm going to add. Cumulative means add the column. So I'm going to add this 12 to 29. Whatever answer I guess is 12 plus 29. And that gives me 41. So the next cumulative frequency number will be 41. Now what is the next frequency number? It was 48. Now I'm going to cumulate. That means here I added in this way, 12 plus. So now I have to add this way. It's going to be 41 plus 48. Let's take note of that. So it's 41 plus 48. And that gives us 89. So the next cumulative frequency number will be 89. The next one is to add this 89 to the next frequency number, which is 27. So when I add in this way, 27 plus 89, 89 plus 27 gives me 116. Okay, and the next number here is 13. You are now going to add 116 to 13 in this order. I hope you see how I'm doing my addition. You don't need to draw this arrowhead, but I'm just teaching, so I'm showing you how you add. The first number is 12. You take the 12, add it to the second frequency number, put it in the next column, like that, to fill the space. So now we are going to add 116 plus 13, and that will give us 129. We come and put it here. And the last number there is 3. I'm going to add 3 to 129. So here is plus, like that. So 129 plus 3 now give me 132. So this is what I have. So here is not important anymore. I've showed you how to do your cumulative frequency. So I'm done. This is our cumulative frequency. So you can see what is going on here. This table is what you are going to use to draw your OGIVE. So the first number was 12. It comes into this column. Take this 12, add it to 29, put it here. Take 41, add it to 48, you put it here. 89, add it to 27, then you put it here. Or the answer you get, you add it to 13, you get it here. Then you take 129 plus 3 and you get 132. So the whole frequency add up and it gives you 132. So this is what you have. So now I'm going to sketch a cumulative frequency curve, which is known as the OGIVE. You are going to use the cumulative frequency numbers here against the interval that they give you here. So let us see what is going to happen. Let us write our cumulative frequency. So now you can also, in the interest of time, without wasting much time, you can add points to sketch. Points to sketch this. Now when you are going to sketch this point, you always take the lower boundary of the first column here, or the first row here, which is 5, and ground it with 0. Any number that appears here on the first row, which is 5, the minimum number there was 5, less than s, less than or equal to 10. So you will take that 5 and ground your graph with 0. So here you're going to have 5 is to 0, that is the first point. And then now from there, from this interval, is only 5 we are going to use on the left side. The rest of them we are not going to touch it. So we're going to touch 5 is to 0, then we move straight to 10. 10 is going for the first cumulative frequency number, which is 10 is to. So on this column you have 2 points. 10 is to 12. I hope you get what I'm trying to say. The 5 which starts the interval goes with 0, so that you ground your graph. And then that 10 which ends that interval goes with the first cumulative frequency number, which is 12. So now let's go. The next cumulative frequency number that we are going to plot is going to be 41. The x value is going to be, the x value there is going to be 15. From 10, the x value is going to be 15 is to 41. Let's take note, sorry for writing 41 first. It's going to be 15. If you move from 10 here, you get to 15. And 15 is going to go along with 41 as a coordinate. So now the next one will be 20. Moving with 89. The next one will go to be 25. Moving with 25, moving with 1, 1, 6, 1, 1, 6. So that is your point. And the next one is going to be 30, going along with 129. So as you can see, we plot the upper class boundary, which is the end points of the interval only, against the cumulative frequency points, not the frequency numbers. Okay, so we don't touch the frequency numbers when we are going to draw. The graph name is cumulative frequency curve. So we plot the upper class boundary against the cumulative frequency numbers, except one of the lower class boundary, which is the first number but must always go with 0. Okay, so now we have 35 moving along with 132 as our points to sketch this graph. So this is the point that we are going to use to sketch the graph. So now allow me to erase all these parts so that I can now sketch my cumulative frequency graph, knowing that this is the point that I need. So the points is what is important in order for you to sketch the graph. Okay, I've deleted my mean. I said the mean is equals to 17,84. Deviation was equals to 5,88. I'm just keeping it for future sake, so don't worry. Those are the answers to 1.1 and 1.2. Now let's see how to sketch the graph. So here you will be having a graph paper like this. Okay. On the graph paper, you obviously have your x value, which is the distance in kilometers. They will write it there. Distance in kilometers. And then on the other side of the Cartesian plane, which is the y-axis side, you'll be having the cumulative frequency. So always look at what is written before you sketch your graph. Here we'll be having our cumulative frequency. So here we will put our 0 mark here. And then now we will check the maximum number in the cumulative frequency is 132. So if you have 132, let's say we move in the unit of 10 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. We can't use that interval because my board is too small. Let's draw it again and find a suitable interval. Let me go 30, 60. Yeah, so that we can go fast. 30 here. 60, they will provide you with a graph, so don't worry. 90. And then we go 120. And then we will have the last one as 150. So we got something like this on the cumulative frequency part of the graph. So now we are now going to plot this point, and then on our x-axis the highest number is 35, so let me go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and say 35. We have this point on the graph as well. Check. We have this point on the graph as well. So now let's see what goes on. We said for us to ground the graph, we use 5:0. So our 5:0 is this point here. You can see 5:0 is this point. We put it down there. And then now we go to 10:12. So 10:12, if here is 30, it means here it will be 15. Halfway. 10:12 will be somewhere here. So you plot it quietly. 10:12. So that is your 12. You put a point there. And then the next one will be 15:41. 15:41. If here is 60, that means I can get 40, 50, then 60. So 41 will be somewhere here. Because our graph is not drawn to scale, so you must take note of that. And then it goes along with 15. 15:41. So this is my 41. Okay. Here I can have 41 there and 15. The next one will be 20:89. So 20:89, 60, 70, 80, 90. So here is my 89. Let's say so. Then I move from here up until I meet 20. It means on this point, and that is my point there. Okay. Now I go from here. It's 25:116. So sorry for the interruption. Like I'm saying, once you get all the points, you now draw your curve through to get the OGIVE. It's not a straight line to join. Most of you like to join this, you join that, and that up to the end. So once you are drawing, you draw a smooth curve through like this, and then you go down, and then you go to the grounding where you put 5:0. If you do not include the 5:0, your graph will end here. You see now I've cleaned it and it will end here. In this case, you are not going to get full marks. So that's why it is important to always take the first number there and go with 0. Then you come and take that 10, which is in the first column, and go with that 12. And then from there, you move on with the upper class only, the one on the right side only, up until the last one. And it must always go with the cumulative frequency numbers, not the frequency numbers. So take note. So here is our cumulative frequency curve. Let me use the black color because black is deep and you can see clearly. My curve is going down. I didn't join with anything. This is what we call the OGIVE. This is what we call the OGIVE. So we are done with the sketch of the cumulative frequency.